Very good afternoon, one and all. I welcome you all to IoT e-learning. So, in our previous session, we discussed about various data analytic tools like MPP, massive parallel processing. Then I discussed about NoSQL, one more IoT data analytics tools particularly used for unstructured type of data. Then we discussed about the Hadoop and the Hadoop ecosystems. So today we'll continue with the edge stream analytics. So in our IoT we have realized that the data basically may be at rest or data might be in a motion, and we have stated examples for these two categories. Data at rest are nothing but the databases either at some data center or at some cloud, and data in motion is nothing but the stream of data that is flowing through the network of devices to gateways to some data centers or towards cloud as the destination point. So this is what we mean by the data in motion. So while dealing with these two aspects of data, either might be at rest or might be in motion through the network, so it becomes necessary for analyzing these kind of data to gain a better business insights or to improve the business processes. A better analytics is needed. So now let us look at the analysis of this data, which may be available in different or which might be performed at different levels. Like we have seen, the data is available at three different levels. One is at the device, say like a sensor, where we call it as a node or the edge point where the data is getting generated, and from this sensor or the node or the edge, the data is forwarded towards some gateways. We call these gateways as now the fog nodes, and now these fog nodes, nothing but the gateways, not only gather the data from one sensor, but they gather from more number of edge devices or more number of sensors that are connected to it. And once the data is gathered, then a cumulative data or an aggregated data is forwarded from these gateways towards the cloud or towards the data center. So this is how we can realize the endpoints where the data is available. One at the edge level, the other one at the fog level, and the last one or at the higher scale, the cloud level or at the data center. So today we will be discussing about the analysis of this data which are available at these three different levels, and particularly we will be discussing about the streaming analytics. So the streaming itself means the data which is in motion. So we'll be particularly dealing with the streaming analytics, related to three different levels. One at the edge, the other one is at the fog, the other one is at the cloud level. So to start with, let us look at the streaming analytics at the edge level, or what we call it as edge streaming analytics. So we know enormous number of devices are today connected in our IoT, and these devices generate massive volume of data, and to analyze this massive volume of time sensitive IoT data in a centralized cloud is not at all ideal. So when we gather this huge amount of data from end devices and then forward it towards some cloud, analyzing this huge volume of data at cloud is not at all ideal. Hence it becomes inevitable that the data analysis should be made at the device itself, or what we call it as the edge node itself. So vast quantities of data that are generated on fly and often need to be analyzed and responded immediately. So this gives us a very needed part in IoT, that the data that is generated at the nodes need to be analyzed and responded very immediately, because analyzing the data at cloud is not at all ideal. So not only is the volume of data that is generated at the edge immense, now we need to also analyze about the bandwidth requirements that is needed to transfer the data from edge device towards cloud or data center. So an analysis is also to be made regarding how much of bandwidth is needed to transfer this data from edge device towards cloud. But many a times this data may be so time sensitive that it needs an immediate attention, and we cannot have much of latency, and we cannot have much of waiting period. So it is highly impossible to have a waiting for deep analysis in the cloud, because it is not at all possible. So if I take up an example, if we take up a Formula 1 racing, where each car has been with some 150 to 200 sensors, which combinedly generate some amount of data in terms of GBs, are need to be analyzed to see that the racer wins the race. So here in this example you can clearly understand what exactly I am stating in a Formula 1 F1 racing, where there is not only the racer in the car with the sensors that are equipped on the car, there is also a coordination team sitting very nearby to the racing track, who are analyzing the statistical health about the car, say like its tire life, to its fuel, to its aerodynamics. So all these different kinds of data are analyzed through the sensors that are attached to this car, and also the data from the sensors connected to the roadways is gathered cumulatively at this coordination team, who are very much close to the racing track. They gather this data and make an analysis to help the racer to win the race. So if the same thing was to be broadcasted to the cloud, which is mile away from the racer, it could have been very impossible for the racer to get the accurate data to win the race, because there is an latency introduced for the data that has to be communicated from a car to the cloud. Rather, if the same data is communicated from the car to the coordination team, which is very close to the track, will help the racer to win the race in a better way. Hence, this situation arises into something called as edge streaming analytics. So now let us compare the big data, that is nothing but the data that is available at the cloud, and the data that is available at the edge point or at the node point. So let us compare this big data and edge analytics. After we had now an introduction about what is edge streaming analytics and why it is so much needed, especially I spoke an example of Formula 1 race. Now let us have a comparison of this big data with the edge analytics. So we have seen in our previous discussion various data analytics, big data analytics tools like MPP, NoSQL and Hadoop. So these tools are great at tackling problems that require deep analytics on a large and complex quantity of unstructured data. So these are tools especially designed for a huge volume of unstructured data, and these analysis will help to better improve the business insights. However, due to the distance between the cloud and the IoT endpoints, the bandwidth required to bring all this data may be large, and they are not well suited to a real-time analysis of this data. So this is the limitations what we can find in today's big data analytical tool. So if I have to stress, bandwidth is the key concern, because the volume of the data that the end devices in IoT generate is quite large. We cannot expect this large amount of data to traverse to the cloud and then make an analysis in the cloud and then get back the result, which is highly impossible in real-time analysis. So the streaming analytics allows us to continually monitor and assess the data in real time, so that we can adjust or fine-tune our predictions. So I told you an example of Formula 1 race. Instead of having the data being analyzed at the cloud level, if we can analyze this racing data at the coordination team, which is very closely associated with which is very near the racing track, it will help the racer rather than depending upon some remote location of the cloud. So the edge is highly distributed, the devices are distributed, which means analytics at each edge needs to be highly coordinated and requires proper structuring. So streaming analytics involves acting on data that is generated while it is still valuable before it becomes stale. Say, like for example, if we are going to analyze the traffic, and in the applications like Uber and Ola, if the driver is suggested not to use a path where there is a heavy traffic jam, then this data would mean to him in a very timely manner. If the same data is given in an untimely manner, it is nothing but a stale data. So that is, when an analysis is made, the analysis also needs to be time sensed, otherwise it loses its meaning. So the key value of this edge streaming analytics includes three parts, that is reducing the data at the edge, then the analysis and response at the edge, and the time sensitivity at the edge. These are the three key values of edge streaming analytics. Now let us understand what we mean by reducing data at the edge. As we know that huge amount of data is generated at the sensor nodes or at the end devices, it is not feasible to have most of this data. So we need to focus on how to reduce this data. If I take up an example that most of sensors may be generating a data, say like to describe to their coordinator node that they are alive, then this data is of no use for analysis. So that is, a sensor might be pinging to its coordinator node saying that it is alive. This data is of no use. So we need to realize what data is actually needed. So it becomes inevitable to reduce the data at the edge level. Unwanted data can be filtered out. Similarly, analysis and response at edge is very important. Say like some data is very useful at the edge. If we take up an example of a factory, and then we have a feedback system in the factory control system, so this data may be better analyzed at the edge level rather than making an analysis at the cloud level. So that is, edge analysis in a factory at a machine is very important rather than a cumulative analysis. Similarly, the time sensitivity, as I told earlier, is very important. I gave an example of Ola, Uber. So a timely response to the data is required here, and passing data to the cloud for future processing will result into unacceptable latencies. Hence, edge analytics allows immediate response to changing conditions. Hence, edge analysis is more preferred rather than cloud analysis or big data analytics. Now let us look at the core functions of our edge analytics. So edge analytics, usually it's a continuous process of analyzing the data streams that flow throughout the network. So streaming analytics at this edge can be broken down into three simple stages. Once again I'll repeat, the streaming analytics at the edge can be broken down into three simple stages. One is raw input data. Here the raw data coming from the devices are given to the second stage, that is the APU, analytics processing unit, and this APU filters and combines the data streams, organizes them by time window, and performs various analytical functions, and then it is at this point the result is acted by the microservices running at the APU. Once an analysis is done, so you can implement some microservices to act upon this data, and then further this data can be forwarded to the higher layers. Third stage is the output stream. So the data that is output from the APU is organized into insightful streams and is used to influence the behavior of the smart objects, and it is passed on to the further storage in the cloud or in the data centers, and this communication would usually happen through different standards like publisher subscriber protocol. One such protocol we have already discussed, which is called as message queuing telemetry transfer protocol, MQTT, which uses the TCP as a transport method for transferring the analyzed data towards the cloud center. So these are the three stages. One is the raw input data, then the other one is analytics processing unit, the other one is the output stream. So here in the diagram you can see this is the raw data input stream. So here we collect the data from the sensors and give it to the APU. APU filters and combines the data streams, organizes them by a time window, and then performs various analytical functions, and if any action is to be done here, will be done by the APU, and then the output stream is forwarded to the cloud centers for further analysis, which might be useful in future business insights. And the protocol used to transfer from this edge towards the cloud is the MQTT. So this is what we mean by edge analytics core functionalities. So now, in order to perform an analysis in real time, so we took up an example of a car racing, Formula F1. So we need to perform following operations. Number one, we need to filter the data, because huge amount of data is generated by the end devices. So hence, most of the data might not be of much use with respect to applications, hence we need to filter a data. For example, a sensor may simply be sending a pole data that it is alive, which is of no use. So hence such kind of data can be filtered. Then the second operation that our APU needs to perform is the transformation of data. So in our data warehouse, we have a concept of ETL called extract, transform and load, which indicates that we are going to extract the data, transform the data, and then load the data into some repositories. So these ETL operations are basically used to manipulate the data structure into a form that can be used for other purposes. So that is, so in streaming analytics, once the data is filtered, it needs to be put it in a proper format. So that is what we call it as transformation of data, so that it can be better understood. Then comes the time part. So a real-time streaming data flows particularly focus on this time aspect. So if we take up an example that a system which is monitoring a temperature may need to read some collective temperature sensors data, and then the system can aggregate this temperature data, and after aggregating the temperature data, it could put a time window to realize the temperature at that particular point of time. So hence it becomes necessary that the data is rendered in a timely manner. So it is important that time also becomes an important aspect in APU. Then the next part is the correlation part. So it is possible that we can have many streaming data that can be correlated. Say for example, in an hospital, if a patient has to be monitored, then the different parameters of a patient, like his body temperature, his blood pressure, and his heart rate, and his respiratory systems, which are monitored by different devices, needs to be correlated to realize his health statistics. Hence correlations becomes more important. And similarly, pattern matching of data is also important. If I take up the same healthcare unit, we may have an historical data being stored related to this patient, and then we may keep monitoring this patient by matching the patterns of his historical data to his current statistics, and if there is a mismatch in the pattern, that could alarm, stating that there is some concern over the patient health that is to be immediately monitored and immediately has to be taken into some actions. So pattern matching also is an important aspect of our analytics processing unit. And then finally we have the last function of our APU, which is nothing but the improving business intelligence by the historical data, or by collecting all the cumulative data we can make an analysis. So as I told, if I take up the same healthcare unit, a patient's historical data would help us to better monitor the patient and suggest the patient to recover from the disease immediately. So this is what we mean by the various operations that are performed in the edge stream analytics by the APU. Next, let us move to the distributed analytics system. So now we have understood about the data analytics at different levels. One is at the edge level, or what I call it as streaming analytics. The data that is flowing can be analyzed at a node itself, it is called as an edge, and from there it moves to the gateways. We can also make a stream analysis on the gateways, where we call this as a fog computing. Okay, the streaming analytics at the fog, and then further this data is moved forwarded to the data center or at the cloud, and the streaming analytics can also be performed at the cloud center. Now let us understand what is this distributed analytical system. So I hope if we have realized that an analytics can be made at different stages, this itself defines what is distributed analytics system. So here in the diagram you can see that in an oil and gas company, say if there are pressure sensors and temperature sensors that are scattered, can now be gathered by a broker or a coordinator node, and we can perform an edge streaming analytics and then forward this to the gateway, where the gateway also collects this data and performs a streaming analysis on this data, and similarly the same data is also analyzed at even the cloud or at the data center. So this is how the analytics can be distributed. The advantage of distributed analytics is that we can get a much better insights of the data that is analyzed here. Rather than analyzing a data at only one node, it is preferable that the cumulative data or the cumulative data from the collection of hundreds of nodes can be better or feasible instead of edge streaming analytics. So this is how the distributed analytics can be implemented to further improve the streaming analytics in our IoT system. So I would like to stop here. I will continue the next topic, network analytics, in the upcoming sessions. Thank you so much.